Chiefs chat with the guys here in Central Florida. It's actually cold here. It's been in the 30s because of the bad weather from Kansas City coming down here and messing things up. That's okay. I lived in that weather for years. Went to high school there at William Chrisman High School. Graduated in 1990. So that tells you how old I am. Older than crap. But anyways, we're not in the Super Bowl this year, but I have no complaints as far as that. You know, when you've been there 5 times and you've won 3 out of 5, that's pretty good. Now, the draft, after the Super Bowl, the draft and free agency will open up pretty soon after that. So I'm picking the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl this year. Who do you got? Patriots or Seahawks? Beyond that, I'm glad Philadelphia and the Broncos didn't make the Super Bowl. I'm happy about that. That being said, what's Kansas City going to do? Are they going to keep to the same still offense they've had for these last couple of years? You need to quit being so predictable. That's why our receivers, Chargers games or Texans game, maybe both, they knew where they were going to throw it. And, when our receivers are getting concussions and everything else because it's so predictable, that's a problem. So there's a couple things here we need to work on. Free agency, get Breece Hall or the guy from Jacksonville. We really need a running back to coincide with getting that offensive line straightened out, getting cohesiveness, getting a good right tackle and good depth to the good players we already have on the offensive line, but get them to play all together more than half a season. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that cohesiveness. So Mahomes is back there 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw the ball instead of 1, and then he's running for his life. Look, you don't need to. That guy can play Superman every now and then, but you don't want him doing that on every play. I want him to be able to trust his guys, being in the right spot, and to be able to keep him upright, so he can make his passes. In his head, his clock is. Internal clock up here going, oh, I got to get rid of it, so his timing's off. So with whoever they keep as receivers, that's whoever is going to be his deep threat, which is Thornton or Worthy or whoever. He's got to have some time to throw the ball. It can't be running around all the time. With that being said, are the Dolphins going to get rid of Tyreek Hill? Some talk about him wanting to come back here. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? First of all, I like Tyreek Hill. I miss him. I miss the Deuces. But what would have to happen to me is Dolphins would have to cut him, and then the Chiefs would have to pick him up for a team-friendly deal. Is Kelsey coming back? I think 70% chance he's coming back for at least one more year. So those are just factors in. Will Mahomes be back in time for Game 1? I would say 85 to 90% yes, more likely. The guy's a go-getter, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he'll have a lot of practice in. So you got to make it as easy as you can for him. And like I said, offensive line, you got to have a star running back. You got to get a running back that doesn't run up your lineman's butt. That if he waits just a second and sees that there's a cluster in the middle, and then he sees green grass on the left side, he can bounce out to that side and go. We've missed that for the last couple of years. All right, when Pacheco was here, he did that a little bit his first year, 2 years. he did that. But the one guy that we had, and he wasn't even, to me, he was a star in this offense, Damian Williams. That guy was a key in that playoff run, besides Kelsey. He would and not only run the ball and bounce it where it needed to go, open space, but he could catch out of the backfield, do real good wheel routes and stuff on the run. And that's all about timing and explosiveness. That 4.2 speed or 4.3 speed or whatever he had. So you got, as far as offensively, offensive line, got to play more than half a season, especially going into the playoffs or trying to get into the playoffs. That'll make all the difference in the world, because if you don't have that, then you can't do good in the red zone. You can't sustain drives. And most of all, you can't protect your quarterback. Got to be able to protect Mahomes. He's still has a lot of prime left. You know what I'm saying? He still has a lot of, but you got to save that. You got to preserve that. That's one sad thing about Tom Brady. That most of the time he had good offensive lines. They protected him really good. Of course, he didn't scramble like Mahomes, but he still running up the middle and running in the end zone. He did that against us a couple times. So the offense has just got to change the little things up too. So, again, back to the offensive line. Mahomes getting better. Who's coming back, who's not. Star running back. Get that running game going. We need some chunk yards in the running game again, and then chunk yards out of the backfield from the running back and wheel routes. That'll open up good screenplays. Who's your top 4 running backs that you see there? Is it Jeremiah Love? Is it Breece Hall? Who's coming back, who's not? We'll get into that more later. So, offensive line, Mahomes, who's coming back? Mahomes, when is he going to be on time, on schedule? And now, one of the other things that's really important is Chris Jones. A lot on the sideline last year. And I'm going, why is he on the sideline? I was getting frustrated, but I started thinking, who else besides him puts pressure on the quarterback? Getting double team, triple team. Need a star edge or star somebody up the middle to help him out get there. So in the draft, you need to, if we get somebody running back, in free agency, get the guy from Miami. I'd love to see that edge rusher there. That dude's a Bain, I think is his last name. He's a badass. Need to get somebody like that, and then that putting pressure and getting sacks on the quarterback will change everything. I'll put you right back on the level you've been at. All right, and the things I talked about on offense, if those things happen, we're back in business. But those things have to happen, otherwise you're going to have issues again. And because the Raiders probably will get Mendoza, and then it's going to be start level of play of each team in our division is going to get better, but we get better too, just by doing those simple things. Got to get those key players. Your thoughts? Who do you want to get in the draft? Who do you want to get in free agency? Subscribe, like Chiefs Chat with the guys. Again, Chiefs Chat with the guys. Subscribe, like, tell people about us. Join us on YouTube. And this season, I am going to do reactions. I'm going to be live with or without my partner. So I'm going to do it. You guys can comment. And you can watch me be happy or throw Nerf balls at the TV and be pissed off. It's going to be entertaining either way. So, what else do you think we need to make us go back to the level we need to be at? Subscribe, like. I'll make a video later. God bless. Enjoy the Super Bowl.